What's up, guys? It's Steve Cardenas, aka Rocky the Red Power Ranger, and you are watching Smart Tank Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your solo host today, the incomparable, the indomitable, the unbeatable, and of course, ever quotable, Joey Business. Yeah, I'm coming to you straight live after watching Dynamite and digesting it. I figured, we don't always do these. We don't always talk about Dynamites or live Raws or whatnot. But I figured we had to talk about this one. I had to get up on the mic and I had to say some praise on, what is arguably the biggest event since the fall of the Great Wall, the landing on the moon, and the day that Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart buried the hatchet. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about if you watch the show. I'm talking about the first words in the what might be long-reigning, illustrious championship reign of the newly minted AEW World Champion, MJF. Maxwell Jacob fucking Friedman. And yeah, you might be wondering, geez, Joe, didn't he spit on your belt a couple weeks back? He did. You're right. But here's the thing. Real recognizes real, and respect to those who deserve it. And this guy deserves it. I used to balk at him. I used to think he's a poor man's Miz and all that. And I used to go along with all the sheep in the crowd. And I realized that my good friend Donnie had to, show me the way. And another good friend, a good brother of the show, Jordan, he is definitely one who opened my eyes. MJF is anything but ordinary. The man is simply extraordinary, and I'll explain why. He has been as unconventional as can possibly be. We pride ourselves on calling ourselves Smart Tank Revolution, because it's revolutionary, it sounds cool, but also we are what we consider smarks. And smarks are smart wrestling marks. All wrestling fans are marks. Fucking deal with it. If you don't like the term, then I suggest you stop watching wrestling, because anytime you hold up a sign or anytime you do a gesture or anytime you quote a catchphrase, you are a mark. Period. You're a mark. I'm a mark. I'm a proud mark, but I consider myself a smart mark. Therefore, we don't put ourselves on the same exact level as the conventional marks, and that's fine. Donnie may go out there and squalor once in a while, slap hands and, shake hands, kiss babies, and smile those big pearly whites, but I'm not going to do that, and nor is Max. So like I said, real recognizes real. MGF came out in what was undoubtedly one of those events where everyone was going to hang on every single word the man says. He is the man with the golden mic. He definitely comes out and has the ability to convey things in a way that you're drawn in, you are sucked in. He's destination television in his own words. And I couldn't agree more. And having him come out with William Regal, which again, wrestling can be predictable. And I predicted about a month ago that once they did the segment in the ring with, MJF reading the email, quote unquote, air quotes, from William Regal, which may be true, maybe kayfabe. We'll never know. We're pores, right? We're not destined and privy to that sort of information that's withheld. But regardless, for the storyline, it was wonderful. I knew in that moment, I said, son of a bitch, he is totally going to be with William Regal come full gear. And when he had the opportunity to go against Moxley and he started doing all these baby face, nasty situational things that, a white meat baby face does, I was like, oh God, he's going to swerve you again. He's going to swerve you. He's not going to swerve me, because I wasn't going to be swerved, because I knew the devil. I mean, it's in the details. The devil is in the details, guys. I knew that he was going to pull another swerve. And I just had a feeling that this was coming down the row. And I said, okay, let's enjoy the ride. And then I got to, once, as everyone knows, meet him at Rhode Island Comic Con. And the man lived up to everything that a baby face isn't. He wrote on a girl's popcorn bag below me. He asked a little young kid who was probably 8 to 10 if his action figure could fly, and he threw it across the room. And then he asked me about my belt, and he spit on it. But we'll get to that later, because I think sometimes contempt can breed a little bit of respect. So anyways, or curiosity, we'll say. But so he came out with Regal, and he explained, and he gave a promo that only MJF could. He didn't give this bombastic promo that like a Chris Jericho or a John Cena or even, a Rock or somebody else is going to give, that high enthused promo, hyping up the crowd, a lot of thank you, you've been behind me, and blah, 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 blah. No, he gave a heel promo for a heel generation. But not only that, he gave an I don't give a fuck promo. He didn't fucking care. And the crowd was starting to get a little restless. And it was like around the 14-minute mark, 13-minute mark. Go back and watch it if you want. I'm not a historian or a statistician. Statistician, is that the word? It's the guy who does the stats. But anyways, my thing is he played it perfectly. Every single one of us was fiddles. And we all got played once again. He explained how he sucked us in, how he was going to not work harder, but work smarter, and how he's an attraction. He doesn't need to wrestle every single week. We're not going to have to. If we want to watch him wrestle, we got to reach into our pockets and pay for the price of the AEW pay-per-view right now, which is something that they could really fucking fix. Tony, you're a billionaire. You should kind of fix that. But I mean, I can pay it, so that's fine. But the problem is he called fans out exactly how they should be called out. He called them out for being fickle. He called them out for being along for the ride. He called them out for jumping on the coattails. And he called them out for, kind of clinging to his success. Which, yes, we all live vicariously through our favorite wrestlers because that is what the name of the game is. If you're a fan, I've said this before on this program, 99% of the people on this earth, including yours truly, will never be able to get in that ring, lace up a pair, and go between those ropes back and forth and know what it's like to get the adoration of a crowd and know what it's like to feel those moments and be able to call yourself a champion. A lot of us aren't going to be able to. But the select few, the chosen few, the great few, do this, and we watch, and we live vicariously through them. And there is nothing wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen. I do it, you do it. Everyone does it. If you're listening to this program, if you click on this YouTube, and you even give me one click or view, you are a mark. I will reiterate that again. You are a mark. You won't go, no, not me. No, you are a mark, sir, or madam, or whatever your pronoun is today. You are a mark. And by the way, that was not a diss. That was just, I don't know what everyone's pronoun is. So the bottom line is this. He delivered a masterful promo. It was a journey. It was not a sprint. It was not a typical rah-rah. And it was not a setup to his next opponent. Even though his next opponent did get set up in the aftermath. He used one word that I knew would set up his next opponent. And when he chose the word, you got to believe that the word was chosen carefully. He's so good. MJF is so good at the way he layers and puts things out that you just sometimes are like, did he plan that? Is it a happy accident? No, I'm pretty sure he planned it. Every single word, ladies and gentlemen. I am pretty sure, listeners, that he planned it. So he said the word fickle. He said that you will turn on him. Your joy will turn to regret and despair, something along those lines. I can't quite quote Max, but you will turn on him. And he said, why? Because you're fickle. He's right. And then, like a fiddle, he said you would call him boring. And then, of course, the seals in the crowd start calling him boring. He goes, oh, there it is. I mean, guys, we're all marching to his fife. If you don't want to march to his fife, simply change the channel. Simply don't watch him. But I hate to tell you, he's too magnetic that you're going to watch him. If you love wrestling, he's everything about wrestling in the package that you want. He's the 80s, he's the 70s, he's the cool factor, he's the horseman, he's everything in one. He's not going to do some flippy dippy bullshit, which I do like flippy dippy bullshit sometimes, but I leave that to the elite, the Bucks, and those like. This guy is a star. He is a generational star, and he proved it. Why did he prove it? Well, he proved it to me long ago now at this point, but he proved it to me once again tonight because as a smart mark, I thought I knew what was coming. Bravo, Max. I had no fucking clue. When he cracked William Regal with the knucks in the back of the head and said, "You made a deal with the devil and didn't know what to expect." And then he masterfully, whoever laid this segment out is a genius from top to bottom. He laid it out and said, "I'm going to leave you with the words that you left on my email 7 years ago." That beautiful dovetail that he did, telling a story. Everyone can wrestle, guys. If you go to school and you have a halfway decent teacher, Brian Myers, you made yourself a gem here, by the way. This guy is gold. This guy is platinum, for Christ's sake. But you can wrestle, but it takes a legend. It takes a master of their craft inside those ropes to tell a story and take us, the smarks, the marks, the audience, the poors, the riches, everybody on a journey, an emotional roller coaster. It takes someone masterful to paint that with that paintbrush, and he did an unbelievable job. And setting up a very worthy first opponent, which will be Bryan Danielson. It's natural. It's a built-in feud. It is just perfect. It's perfect. You couldn't ask for more. And it bothers me a little bit only because I feel bad because I am a giant Bryan Danielson fan, and I have been for many, many, many years prior to, through ROH and all. And he can't beat Max. I know we live in the world of, speculation and whatnot. He cannot beat Max. MJF cannot lose his first defense, whoever it is, Ricky Starks, Bryan Danielson, his first pay-per-view, whatever. He can't lose it because you have shit the bed if you lose it. You are playing the only trump card that you have right now, Tony, against the WWE, and this guy can ride you all the way to the promised land if whoever is booking his segments. Max, if it's you yourself, bravo, sir. You are a genius mind in the world of wrestling. But whoever is laying out these segments, whoever is laying out the long-term booking for Max's character, or MJF, I'll stop calling him Max. Genius, Paul Heyman level, absolute masterful genius, just spectacular. I don't have enough adjectives. And the point that I wanted to get to also, MJF did what every big star who feels bigger than the moment, whose character in presence in the ring warrants this. He gave his own version of the belt. I mean, Christ, when you saw the podium, you knew it was a fucking belt. It wasn't going to be a teacup set, and it certainly wasn't going to be a new Dynamite ring. So you knew it was a belt. You just knew it. And of course it would be a Burberry-esque belt, right? Triple B, as he the big Burberry belt, as he coined it, Triple B. But it's funny. I couldn't help but notice the color, the main color on the belt. Very reminiscent of a belt that came across your path, I don't know, say about 3 weeks ago at a little place in Rhode Island, at a little convention booth that you spit on. Yeah, kind of like the STR belt, which unconventionally, as we are ourselves, is a brown fucking belt. Now, you can put the plaid pattern on it all you want. It's still a brown fucking belt. So what I said, Max, everything I said, I asked you to hold my belt back then. I didn't ask you to be on the show. I would never, ever, ever discount you being on it because I am a big fucking fan. So is Donnie. And I have other friends who would kill to meet you who haven't already met you. But you could be on this show anytime. I would like to go toe to toe with you on the mic. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Hell, you could class the joint up a little bit. We are a small YouTube promotion. But as I said, real recognizes real. I don't know if you had that belt made before. I'm sure you'll say you did, because why would you give credit to anyone else? But it is kind of curious and funny how you see a brown belt from us, you spit on it, and then all of a sudden you got a big fucking brown belt of yours on your own, on your on national television. So, now you got yourself a piece of shit to throw around too. Maybe somebody drops it at a convention someday. Who knows? But all I know, Max, is best of luck to you. You definitely got something going. And yeah, you're on your way. And like I said, see you in Rushmore.